Good Thursday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Welcome to the I Love CVille show. We're live in Charlottesville, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille network. We have a really good program lined up for you. For the next hour, we will relay Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country news to you that matters in an approachable setting. You can interact with the program by sharing your perspective in the comments section. You can share the show to your friends and let them know what we're talking about. A lot we're going to cover on Thursday, October 29th. Folks, Mark Mincer battling a brain tumor. This guy, a stand-up person, one of the really good people in our community. We're gonna give some good juju, some thoughts and prayers to Mark. That coming up in a matter of moments. We're going to talk golf on this program. We're going to talk a rapid COVID test. Kroger, at the end of November, is about to roll out at its pharmacies rapid COVID testing, 15 minutes results for $25. We will bring that story to you on the show. A shopping center in Short Pump sold for $10.8 million. A tremendous backstory for this shopping center, which is right next to the Short Pump Town Center. I'll give you that backstory. We'll let you know who the new owners are and how this shopping center got on the auction block. That coming up on the I Love CVille show. Callaway, Big Bertha, the golf brand Callaway, it purchased Topgolf. So that's going to come up. That story will come up on today's program, and we'll take a look at the ACC standings. Judah, let's give some love to Interstate Pest and Service Companies. A home's best friend, 4 generations of family at Interstate Pest and Service Companies. They truly do it right. When you've been in business for over 50 years, you know you're doing things the right way. Interstate Pest and Service Companies. Judah is our director. He's fantastic. I want to start with the story from the wedding industry. This one I noticed when I was preparing for this program. A bride is suing Pippin Hill Vineyard in Albemarle County for $32,000 in deposits. There's a side to every, there's a story to every side, and one side is saying this, the other side is saying this. Regardless, not a good headline. Pippin Hill, one of our premier destinations. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, luxurious, one of the best views, soup to nuts, top to bottom, one of the best venues in Central Virginia, Pippin Hill, also one of the most expensive. I mean, deposits of $32,000. Think about that. That shows you the price tag for a wedding at a location like this. The wedding gets postponed a couple of times because of COVID. Finally, the bride wants to call off the wedding because it's not the day of her dreams. Pippin Hill's like, hey, we're running a business here. Sticky situation. I'm sure more of this is going to happen, unfortunately, and more of this has already happened. That is an unfortunate headline across the board. But it's a headline that I think is going to be more frequent, unfortunately. The next story I want to get to caught me, really kind of took my breath away. I was just talking with this guy a few weeks ago. Mark Mincer, neighbor, lives in our neighborhood. He is the guy that is very well known for his business on the UVA corner. Mark Mincer, he's got a business in Stonefield, a location in Stonefield, battling brain cancer. Tuesday of this week, showed signs of a stroke, rushed to the hospital. The family's putting the message out there now that Mark is going to go to UVA Hospital tomorrow, where he is going to have brain surgery. So thoughts and prayers to a guy that I think is a community steward, a man that is, I got a good Mark Mincer story for you. We have the I Love CVille trademark, the I Heart CVille trademark. And we sell some merchandise, some t-shirts, some apparel, some hats that have the I Love CVille trademark on it. And when I first got this trademark, probably close to 10 years ago. I went into Mincer's as just a, young, looking for experience, asking questions, eager beaver, wet behind the ears, entrepreneur. And you know what Mark did 10 years ago? He called me into the back room of his UVA location, the UVA corner location. And Mark spent close to an hour talking to me and offering perspective on how we could scale the I Heart CVille, the I Love CVille trademark that we only have the rights to. He talked to me about t-shirt manufacturers, cuts, the type of sizes you should order, what you should do. I mean, he was an open book. And I left there after an hour of knowledge of learning from him in his store. I mean, he's the second generation of that store. And he said, on my way out, he said, come back anytime, Jerry, I'm happy to talk to you. I was blown away. And because of experiences like that with Mark, I also now, being in the game for, good Lord, how long have I been in the game? I guess I've been in advertising and media for 20 years. I mean, I also share because of the effect a guy like Mark had on me. So please, thoughts and prayers to the entire Mincer family, to the entire UVA sports community. This guy actively involved in UVA sports. Of course, his businesses, his staff, the community, Central Virginia, Mark Mincer. Thoughts and prayers, my friend. Thoughts and prayers. Surgery tomorrow. Kroger is offering a 15-minute rapid test. This is good news. We should celebrate this. The next best thing to a ubiquitous vaccine is rapid testing that's priced low and also easily accessible. And that's what Kroger's doing. By the end of November, every single Kroger pharmacy in America will be offering a 15-minute rapid test for $25. This rapid test is a prick of the finger, and they'll look at you, they'll assess your blood if you have COVID or not. 15 minutes later, after you pay $25, you get the results. The test has been authorized by the FDA. It is legit. This is good news. We need to champion and celebrate and embrace, and we need to welcome good news in the year 2020. And the next best thing to a ubiquitous vaccine, and by ubiquitous vaccine, I mean people actually taking the vaccine when it comes up, whether it's Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, whatever company comes up with the vaccine, we need people to take it. The next best thing to that is ubiquitous rapid testing. Accessible and approachable and priced low, priced fairly rapid testing. And Kroger's going to be the first retailer in America to offer this rapid testing across its pharmacies and its grocery stores by the end of November. We need to celebrate that. I mean, seriously. Any glimmer of hope in COVID, we need to celebrate. $10.8 million for a short pump shopping center. Let's get that on screen if you could, Judah Wickower. The shopping center, here's the nitty-gritty. The shopping center is right next to Short Pump Town Center. I mean, just an awesome spot, awesome location. Okay? Now, it has some wear and tear on it because the owner of the shopping center, the previous owner went into default on its loan. The shopping center was built in 2005. And in 2005, this Short Pump shopping center was sold for $26.13 million, just over $26 million. Now, the company that bought it in 2005 defaulted on its loan, and the lender assumed ownership of the property. Long story short, the property just went to auction, and it got purchased by an out-of-state conglomerate, an out-of-state partnership, a hodgepodge of business, of money and private equity from out of Virginia. They bought this shopping center for $10.8 million. Remember, in 2005, it sold for $26. I mean, heck, They're assessing the property, Richmond is, for 17, almost 18 million. These are the type of deals that are happening right now in a COVID ecosystem. Now, it's not just purchasing of commercial. You have, if you're looking to launch, start, open a business of any kind, and before you do, you obviously have to think long and hard because it's a pandemic. I launched my business in a recession in 2008. And I remember when I launched my business in a recession in 2008, my mom and dad, my girlfriend at the time, and a couple of my friends, I got home from work before I launched my business because they knew I was about to quit my job and launch. And 5 or 6 people were there, and they were doing a intervention for me, basically begging for me not to get into business for myself. That was in 2008, 12 years ago and change. Nuts. I mean, time flies. Now, for me, that motivated me even more. And if you can launch a company in a recession, and if you can pull through a recession, then you got something that has merit and can make you some money and can help you hire some people, and you can flush out the idea. If you can do it in a recession, you can do it in good times. Maybe that's the same for a pandemic. I don't know. I don't want to speak for that. If you're launching a business in a pandemic and you're making money and you're gaining traction, then kudos and good for you. Okay? So, long story short, there are opportunities out everywhere. Even if you're trying to rent a space, you can talk with landlords and negotiate to price points that were not imaginable even in February of this year, in January. Okay? And I encourage you to utilize that leverage if you're thinking about going down that road. Just like this out-of-state conglomerate purchased a shopping center in Short Pump for under $11 million that's assessed just under $18 million, that in 2005 was purchased for $26 million. That's called opportunity in a pandemic. 2 Regal movie theaters closing permanently in Virginia. Folks, follow this storyline closely. Get that on screen if you could for us, Judah Wickower. Regal, we talked about on this show a few weeks ago, closing its movie theaters indefinitely because of this pandemic. Now, we have multiple locations with the Regal brand that are defaulting on their lease. We need to follow this because the Regal in Stonefield, can you even possibly imagine what the rent is for the Regal in Stonefield? To put it in perspective, if this helps, Trevinia Italian Kitchen, now closed. Trevinia Italian Kitchen, which had arguably the best restaurant location in Stonefield, right next to the movie theater, had the outside fire pits, had a massive inside dining room, just a really sexy footprint, a really sexy piece of construction. Trevinia was paying $27,000 a month for that restaurant. $27,000 a month. Rock Salt, $19,000 a month, and Rock Salt was way behind on its rent. So can you imagine what Regal in Stonefield is paying? And the reason I'm bringing this up is the Regal in Harrisonburg and the Regal in Virginia Beach, those 2 locations have now defaulted on their leases. 3 weeks ago on this very program, we explained to you that Regal, the parent company, was going to not release any movies and close its theaters indefinitely because of the pandemic. Now we're explaining to you a Regal in Harrisonburg and one in Virginia Beach have defaulted on the lease and are permanently shut down forever. If we are not thinking about what is going to happen to Regal in Stonefield, and if you can think of a business that has the highest rent in our area, I mean, the grocery stores, can you imagine what the rent is at Harris Teeter, Barracks Road, or the Kroger at Barracks Road? I mean, good Lord. What is the rent there? What are they paying? Price, how much are they paying a month? I mean, the Regal at Stonefield has got to be, while not quite at that echelon, sniffing that echelon from an overhead and a monthly rent. If we're not thinking that thing is in serious jeopardy and trouble with the amount of monthly nut and the debt service it has to cover every single month, we are nuts. And if the Regal in Stonefield permanently shutters, that Stonefield shopping center becomes much more vulnerable, and it loses one of its two flagships, Trader Joe's in the movie theater. Elizabeth Cromwell in 4 minutes on this very program. Patti Zeller from Animal Connection at 1:10. If you want some positivity in your life, I'm going to show you photos of animals in costume around Charlottesville and Central Virginia competing virtually through a contest by Animal Connection, now located in Ix Park. And these parents of these animals went balls to the wall when putting these costumes together. For some reason, we may be spending more time at home than ever before, with more time in our hands than ever before. I wonder why. Let's talk about the value proposition of golf and tennis and COVID. Here's a storyline that's worth following. It's now developing at a macro level. I expect to see it develop and penetrate Charlottesville and Central Virginia. We know the real estate market is gangbusters. Why the real estate market is gangbusters is for a number of reasons. Mortgage rates, historically low. You can get a 30-year fixed under 3%. That's bananas. That's nuts. Folks are sprinting from densely populated urban environments, selling their real estate, whether it's a townhome, a condo, or a single-family detached, in these urban environments, and they're bringing their big bags of money to suburban environments like Charlottesville and Central Virginia, where they're driving up the cost of real estate because they want a dream home that now has a backyard, a Zoom room for mom, a Zoom room for dad, a place for virtual learning for home education for the kids, a backyard so mom and dad can maintain their sanity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Home has changed. The meaning of home due to COVID has changed dramatically. Home is now much more live, work, play than ever before. So, the macro trend is this. Golf and tennis facilities in neighborhoods are driving value proposition. Golf and tennis is a value proposition for neighborhoods. Why? Families are able to walk outside their home, stay within their neighborhoods, play golf, play tennis, go to a swimming pool, hiking, whatever it may be. These types of neighborhoods that have these kind of amenities are seeing a pop in value. So the question I'm going to ask you this, and it's a storyline I expect we will see in Charlottesville and Central Virginia in 2021, because it's a storyline that's happening macro and nationally. Golf, tennis, swimming, and hiking, amenities that are offered in neighborhoods, these types of amenities are driving real estate values. It gives the family an alternative activity that's outside, that's COVID important, that's not around other people while being outside, that's COVID important. You can be on a golf course and not be near anyone. You're playing doubles tennis, it's not like you're really close to a lot of people. In doubles tennis, hiking, you're outside. This will impact Charlottesville and Central Virginia real estate. You heard it here. Elizabeth Cromwell in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes for Elizabeth Cromwell. On the back end of this show, we will talk more golf and Topgolf in Callaway with a merger. Callaway purchased Topgolf for $2 billion. You heard me correctly. There's 58 Topgolf locations in America, and of those 58 locations, Topgolf is driving engagement in this sport, and Callaway wants to capture that attention, leverage it, and put it into play for its product line, its Callaway product line. That story's coming up. We'll take a look at the ACC football schedule, ACC football standings. Man, I'm just still thinking about Mark Mincer. If you guys, whether you're a God-fearing person or not, let's give some positive thoughts to this guy, Mark Mincer. I mean, he's as Charlottesville gets. Dude bleeds orange and blue. He creates jobs for people. He's second-generation family business, a name and a business that everybody knows. I mean, I've been going to Mincer's since I was a kid. I'm second generation UVA. My brother is too. My dad took us here to Charlottesville for football games when we were knee high. Knee high. Jude, I'm going to reach out to Elizabeth Cromwell here on the program, live across all social media. Elizabeth Cromwell is the president and CEO of the Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce. A lot we're going to cover on today's program, including Project Rebound. Elizabeth, we have you. Hello. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I like your glasses.
Thanks. These are my backups.
They look good. So a lot I want to cover with you. How about open-ended? What's the temperature out there? What are you feeling when you're talking with the folks you know, the business owners you know? What's the mood, Elizabeth?
I don't know anyone who isn't exhausted, honestly. I think, people are still going strong. People are working really, really hard. And I think there is some of the people I talk to, I think, are starting to see some positivity. But I'll be honest, I think, as a business community, we have a lot of really tired folks.
I cannot agree more. I feel like we're at this kind of like this crossroads. I'm going to throw that to you. I feel like our area and our city and our region, Central Virginia, I'm talking here, we're managing this pretty well. I feel like consumer confidence is starting to uptick a little bit. We're realizing the importance of wearing these masks and staying apart. At the same time, why I say we're at a crossroads is we're going into these winter months where it's getting colder, and that brings a new level of uncertainty because since this thing hit, it was spring. And then we went into summer and fall. So this is our first time in these cold months here. What do you think? What's on your mind?
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of innovation, and I think people are trying to figure out how to make it work outside as much as possible, electronically as much as possible. And I think we as a chamber and as our municipal partners and everybody who's not in the business community but who supports business, it's really up to us to be a backstop and to try to help get out of the way and help facilitate. And so we've really, really been focusing on that. And, we're going to get through it. It's just we're going to look a little different when we come out of it. And I think there's some very, there's going to be some tough, sad stories coming out of it, but there's also going to be some pretty amazing stories of reinvention. And we're hearing that every day. So I try to stay real positive and focus on what we can do to help others get through it.
You got a lot of folks watching you here. Christelle from C&O, she's the catering director. Neil Williamson is watching. What's up, Neil? Free Enterprise Forum is the best. We're on his website daily. Scott Aaronworth, the Esquire in Virginia Beach, is watching. The Daily Progress is watching you, as is the CVille Weekly. Nashville is still watching. Charlotte, North Carolina. Throw this question to you. I am also... because I'm an entrepreneur, a positive and a cautious optimist, I'm excited for the following things coming down the pipe. Chris Henry and Dairy Market and Dairy Central are going to have a major positive impact on this community. There's something about novelty when new development and new businesses open. People love to flood and support them. I'm also extremely positive and bullish about the new construction that's coming downtown. Joffrey Woodruff and Code. We know Oliver Kootner's got a project off Water Street. Co-Construct. There's a lot of stuff that's Apex, a lot of stuff coming down the pipe here. What are your thoughts on how this new development and the novelty of the new development and the new businesses that go along with it, how that could positively impact this area?
Well, I agree with you, particularly about Dairy Central. I think Chris Henry over there has approached that project very wisely. And I think, to me, something that's very important is to ensure that, those are going to be economic engines, each of them. And it's really important to remember the Charlottesville business community that's already here and to try to find ways to lift all boats. And so I think that there's going to be new economic development and a lot of increased spending power as a result of those new organizations. But I also think it's important that there's a lot of sort of Main Street business and a lot of small business here. And I think there's some trepidation, among those businesses about, their rent costs and things like that. And so it's a really important balancing act to make sure that we're encouraging all of this new, shiny new stuff to happen, and also to make sure that what we have here also continues to grow.
Agreed. One of the areas that I try to very much spotlight here is downtown. What's the plan here? I mean, you're a leader here. You're a big thinker here. I mean, Elizabeth, we walk down there. You love downtown as much as I do. I see you downtown all the time. We got some empty storefronts.
Yeah. Well, I think, not to punt the answer on what's the master plan, because I don't know for like the downtown mall, for example. But I do think we're being pretty good about this. We as a community need to stay focused on keeping COVID at bay. I think there are, and I said this to you last time we were together, but I think that there are some other cities where the business community is really tearing each other apart because they're not aligned on doing this the right way. And I haven't seen that here. I mean, people share different opinions about it, but I think everybody understands that until we figure out when, a full reopening is, we've got to really focus on getting over this COVID situation.
Agreed. How's the chamber adapting? What have you guys been doing? I mean, is it every day like everybody else? Like it's like we got to do something different because it's so unknown? How's your team doing?
My team is doing well. They're exhausted too. I mean, we have not reduced the amount of programming we're doing at all. And in fact, we've increased the programming that we're doing, and we have moved everything virtual. Although it's amazing, some things still carry on. I'm doing a ribbon cutting today at 2:00 for a business that's moving across town, so I wish it weren't raining. But there's some things that we're trying to do safely and smartly. And but just like everybody else, we're adapting. Our annual dinner that many people know because we've had it for about 100 years, over 100 years. This year is going to be completely virtual, and we're really excited about that. But it's also, this old dog has had to learn a lot of new tricks. But I ultimately think that we're doing things better than we were. So I think the chamber's doing great. We've opened up what we're doing to folks who aren't members as well in so many ways, because we are really committed to helping this business community recover. But at a certain point, I'm going to have to, we're a small business and we have to sort of think about our future as well. And for those of you who don't know this, most people probably don't, but we are a 501c6 organization, which means we're the only type of organization that has not been eligible for any grants, federal funding. Nonprofit, 501c3s are, for-profits are. We are literally just about the only kind of organization that gets no support. So that's something we really work hard on.
So support the chamber. Get involved. This lady is awesome. Support the chamber. She's supporting all of us. I want to talk the 2020 Business Awards, the Rebound Ball event that you guys have coming on. We have questions coming in for you. Can we throw them to you?
Sure, why not?
We have multiple people giving you props here, but multiple people want to get some perspective from you on tourism, on what we can do for tourism. How long do we think the recovery is going to be for tourism? We know it's such an important aspect of this community and our economy. Tourism in general, Elizabeth, anywhere you want to go with that?
Well, it is. I mean, obviously, it's a huge part of our economy. And I think from some of the anecdotal stuff I am starting to hear some positivity about hotel room bookings, for example, events that are starting to get into the works for next year. So there is some bright light there. You're much more plugged into the wedding industry than I am, because I know you have a lot of those folks that listen to your show, but I have heard that next year sounds like a total boom for weddings. So I do think hospitality is coming back. I think some of the challenges related to restaurants is really hard. The 50-person limit or 50% capacity, all of those issues are crippling, and so we've got to figure out how to make it easier for people to be outside if they can be outside. There's space available all over the place if we can creatively tap into that makes sense for the restaurant industry. So we want to be supportive of that, but it's a heavy lift.
This one's from Chris Kyle. He's got some props for you. Jerry, I've been especially impressed with how quickly Elizabeth has integrated herself into our community and how she's become a leader so quickly. Could you please ask her how she is working alongside other local leaders to come up with new ideas that can help drive business and growth for us? We certainly need it, specifically with the deficit we're facing for the city of Charlottesville next year. That's a good question.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that comment. And I can tell you I just got off the phone with the head of economic development for the city, the county, the head of tourism, and some other groups. And we are really trying to leverage our various assets to make some things happen, especially buy local. And I'll tell you, from the chamber's perspective, which is the only perspective I can really speak from, I think we've sort of found a bit of a niche to be a really strong partner in the community for this kind of thing. And that's that because we're so small, we're nimble. There's things that the city and the county and tourism can do, but as sort of municipal-ish quasi-government agencies, they can't do some of the things that the chamber can do. So the chamber is becoming a larger partner in accepting grant funding that we can then turn around and use for economic development and other things like that. And so we don't have a lot of manpower, but we have a very flexible ability to spend funds in ways that our government partners can't do. So we're finding ways to use that, and there's going to be more information coming on that pretty soon.
Andre Xavier, CEO of CVille Hop-On Tours, also actively involved in tourism and in this community. He's asking about the grant. The governor announced yesterday new grant opportunities. He says, let's hope the money will come. Your thoughts on the impact of the news yesterday from the governor's office?
Well, I guess that's why I mentioned the 501c6 thing.
Because you should be in there.
Me because I'm not eligible for that. So I'm just about the only kind of business that's not eligible for that. But I think it's a great thing. I signed a letter of support. I advocated on behalf of getting that funding released. So I am very hopeful that that's going to be yet another way to jumpstart our economy. I think some of the things that's happening with that grant funding, not that specifically, but generally speaking, is things are happening quickly and we've never done these kinds of things before. And so there's a lot of concern over, auditing not literally auditing, but, we want to make sure we're not creating any kind of opportunities for fraud accidentally or opportunities for that money to get clawed back because it wasn't used exactly in the way that they thought it was going to be used. And a lot of that's still very undefined. And so there's a lot of lead work trying to do to make sure, like the county, Albemarle County's CARES Act funding, there's some money sitting there, but we have to make sure that we're using it the right way, or else Albemarle County has to pay it back out of our own county's pocket. And we don't want to make it worse for our local partners.
Elizabeth, you are awesome. You're a fantastic interview. How about events with the chamber? The business awards, the rebound event that you have upcoming. I mean, you guys are doing such awesome stuff all the time. Can you give us some insight to what's going on?
Well, I appreciate that. And the reason I really wanted to talk to you today is because I want to ask for a favor from you and from all of your viewers and listeners.
Sure.
Our event that we're going to have on December 2nd, the Rebound Ball, we're playing everything into basketball this year. So we've gone all in on Project Rebound. And so now we're doing the Rebound Ball. And I'm trying to frame that event around the stories of our local business community. And the reason we have these awards, and we've created 2 special awards just for this year because it's been such a, hellacious year. But we want to tell the stories of the true grit and determination and sacrifice and success that is happening in this community. It's a time for us to look around at everybody else and say, we're still here and we're going to get through this, and let's kind of celebrate some of the things that we've been able to do despite a lot of odds. So we've created 2 special awards this year, and you as a sportsman are going to enjoy this because I told you I'm all in on the basketball. So we've created the Alley-Oop Award.
Ooh.
And the Alley-Oop Award is, I'm sure you know from basketball, it's when one player throws the ball to a teammate who, catches the ball in the middle of the air and throws it in for a basket.
Nicely done, Elizabeth. That was very good.
Wikipedia. No. But anyway, the point of this award is there are people in this community, and I hear them on your show all the time, who are doing things every day to help other businesses. And that award is invented just so that we can recognize the people who stand up to help their fellow business people, their competitors even. And we want to recognize those people. We want to tell their stories. And then the other award we've created just for this year is the Pivot Award.
Ooh.
And as you know, in basketball, the Pivot Award is when you put, you keep one foot planted on the ground so that you can look around for other opportunities to make a shot happen.
Nice.
And that was not as good. But we're looking for businesses that have changed their customer base or their products or their services that they've adapted to this bizarre year that we've had. And whether or not that's a temporary thing, like some of these amazing distilleries that are making sanitizer, or whether it's a permanent thing, like I hear from some of the real estate people that are making changes to the way they work, that they're not going to go back to the old way. We want to celebrate that. And so I'm begging people to help us create the content for our program by sending us nominations for those awards. They're due November 4th, next week. And the nomination form is on our website at CVillechamber.com. It doesn't take long to nominate anyone, but you were the first person I wanted to talk to about this because you have these people all the time that are in your studio, and I want to be able to celebrate them too.
I love it. I love what you're doing there. I have a recommendation for our next guest, Patti Zeller at Animal Connection. She moved from McIntyre, from behind CVille Coffee, to Ix Park during a pandemic. She instituted same-day dog food delivery to beat Amazon and Chewy, which were on a 3 and 4 day turnaround time. Then she did a training partnership with a training company that's in her store now, a joint venture for Rising Tides, Good for All Ships. And on top of that, she's rolling out a membership like BarkBox type deal, where almost like Birchbox. So I will keep my ears peeled. Guys, we should get involved with this. The Chamber of Commerce is awesome. And there's so many people that are either pivoting or assisting businesses to survive. I mean, that's pretty much what we're doing now, is we're trying to survive. Oh, Elizabeth, you are awesome.
Give us a chance to clap for all those
yes.
people. And if someone wants to nominate Jerry, that's fine too. I think you'd be right up there.
Well, I will pass that baton on to somebody else if that happens.
Okay.
But thank you very much for saying that. We should do this more regularly. You are a breath of fresh air.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. One other thing about that event, if I could just throw it in, is we have a speaker that's going to be at that event she's a New York Times best-selling author. Her name is Priya Parker, and she wrote a book called The Art of Gathering. And it's just an amazing book about how people meet, how people gather for, whether it's for business meetings or in your personal life or with your family, and how to make those gatherings more meaningful. And ever since COVID, she is now, she has a podcast on the New York Times website called Together Apart. And it's how we can have more meaningful connections when we can't be together, just like you do. So I think she's going to be a fantastic speaker, too. So we're really excited about that.
Very nice.
And the ticket comes with an ebook of hers.
Look at you. You got some value proposition with that ticket purchase. I love the Val prop right there. EC, thank you so much. I will email you again, Elizabeth.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do, and all your listeners. Just keep going. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it.
We're gonna survive. Thank you for saying that. You have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Elizabeth Cromwell is great. Love Elizabeth Cromwell. J-Dubs, if you want to check that side panel, Patti Zeller, we're going to go to you in 60 seconds. I love those two awards that they have. The Assist Award, the Alley-Oop, and the Alley-Oop is for someone that's an asset or offering assistance to the business community, and the Pivot Award. I mean, isn't that the word of 2020? If 2020 was defined by a couple of words, probably the first word would be COVID or pandemic, unfortunately. Then the next word would probably be like mask or election year. But in the top 10, the word pivot would be in the top 10 for a definition, one word of the year 2020. Would it not? I mean, you got all the crappy words that 2020 is a reflection of, but pivot would be one of the top 10 words. Patti Zeller, we're going to go to you here in 30 seconds on the I Love CVille show. I wanted more positivity, Judah. How about the costume contest she did? We have those photos. Patti, we have Patti on the line here. I'm excited to chat with this lady. Patti, I think I just nominated you for the Pivot Award for the Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce.
I think you did.
Can you, I'd love to see you. Can you turn your camera on? Okay, there we go. There we go.
I think I did.
There, you're in.
Yay.
We just nominated you for the Pivot Award.
Hey, thanks. What a cool thing you're doing. That's really nice.
Don't you think, I'm going to throw this to you. Go anywhere you want on this. Don't you think pivot is such a word for 2020?
Well, I think epic was last year and pivot is this year. So, and next year, what did we say? Omni-experiential. So that's the word for the year.
Omni-experiential is the new trend for retail.
Yes.
And Patti Zeller's retail model, Animal Connection, and X Park embodies that mindset. How have you pivoted in 2020, Patti?
Well, first of all, we looked for more ways for our retail store to have more experiences, more services. Like you said earlier, we enlarged the dog training. We enlarged the self-service. We added dog training. We're doing the membership boxes coming up. And pretty soon we're going to be able to announce yet another membership opportunity for, let's just say it's going to be outdoor exercise for the neighborhood. That's all I can tell you right now.
Okay,
I'll drop that right there.
Okay, see, so you can't do that. You can't do that, Patti.
Yes, I can.
I know what's happening here. She's sworn me to secrecy, so I'm not going to spill the beans. Can you just say one more time again the teaser that you put out? A monthly club for what?
I can't tell you. You heard it the first time. You got to look at the screen, Jerry.
Look at the screen. Outdoor activity. Dude, you are innovative.
Quick.
Patti Zeller is dropping big-time knowledge bombs. When she's prepared to make that announcement, it's going to have a huge impact on Charlottesville. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I'll say it again, just for you. Okay, we're looking at a membership club that involves an outdoor experience for dogs and their people. And it might include beer.
Dude, I know what it is. It's freaking awesome. I can't spill the beans. Get ready, Charlottesville. Elizabeth Cromwell and Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce. I'm pretty sure this is your front runner for the Pivot Award winner for a business. She expands her retail location 1,000 square feet during COVID. She moves from McIntyre to Ix. She brings in-house dog training in through a business association with Lead the Way Canine Training. She's doing same-day food delivery to beat Amazon and Chewy. She's doing a monthly membership, kind of like a Bark Box club. And on top of that, she's about to launch an outdoor membership club for dogs with beer.
Well, the boxes are called the Dog Scout.
The Dog Scout.
Right,
yeah.
We're sniffing out the coolest, neatest treats, toys, everything that your dog wants, but you never knew they wanted. And they all have a monthly theme. And we have just 1 or 2 left of the Halloween boo boxes. Saturday's the last day for those, and we're moving on to Thanksgiving, gobbling goodies, and then to the Christmas theme, season's treatings. We're moving right along.
I love it. I love it. That's pivoting at its finest. All right, so Patti, this is what I want to do here. We want to brighten people's days.
Yay.
We have the awesome photos from your costume contest.
Oh
so
my
this is what I was thinking we could do. Judah's going to play a montage of the photos on screen.
Sure.
Why don't you give us 30 seconds of play-by-play, what you did with this costume contest, and then some of the winners and what you loved about them.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're not going to be in any particular order, but I do want to, I don't know if you'll have a chance to play the video, but I do want to encourage people to go to our Facebook page and see this amazing video that all the volunteers of Green Dogs Unleashed, not only the volunteers, but their children, right down to 2-year-olds, put this thing together. And it's all the dogs are in costumes, and there's a theme about heroes during COVID. It will touch your heart. It's more than a costumentary. It was a teaching experience for the children. It's just amazing, and you'll just have to go to our Facebook page to see it, or go to the replay from yesterday. West Park Local.
I'm going to put Judah on the spot, and you and I often put Judah on the spot here. But Judah, do you think we can play that video after the interview with Patti?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to play the video after the interview with you. Tell us about the photos.
Talk about the costumes. I mean, we asked people to get involved and do this costume contest online, and we included cats. We included other pets. I mean, ponies, goats, lambs, hedgehogs, whatever you've got. I mean, I have a personal experience in another costume contest where a good friend of mine dressed a boa constrictor in Barbie doll clothing. I mean, it was just over the top. Entered this year, but we do have a pony dressed as Ralphie from A Christmas Story, and one of my favorites. We have family groups. We have, like I said, the rescue groups. We have cats in costumes. It's just an amazing array. I can quickly name the winners.
Love it. I love it. Look at the screen, guys. We're showing the photos on screen. Look at the screen for those that watch the show here. The horse is hysterical.
I don't think my horse would ever do that. He would look at you and say, "Lady, what are you thinking?"
Right. I know. I mean, that is an absolutely hysterical. Weren't you blown away by the engagement? And is it not an indication or indicative of people just wanting something cool and fun and positive to do?
It is. I mean, anytime we've done any kind of online event this year, we've had amazing participation. And then we've also tried to do in-store events that, where people could space out and do things and get things and experience things. There are many ways that we've been able to do that responsibly this year. I mean, even down to when we were doing our curbside drive-through dog bar. I mean, you could come get a box of dog tacos. You could see me dressed as Ralphie from the Toys from Christmas Story in a bunny suit delivering your Easter basket. They're just things like that just make this whole experience livable, I guess, is maybe the word. But, we're here to help you get through it any way you need. So, it's great.
Patti Zeller, you're awesome. Animal Connection is awesome. We're going to play that Green Dogs Unleashed video. My friend, thank you. Thank you for the time. You're making people's day better with these pictures and this video about to play. So thank you. Thank you, Patti.
Awesome. That's what we're here to do. Is we're here for you, CVille.
You have a good one.
All right, you too. Thanks, Jerry.
Patti Zeller. Judah, do you have that video ready to go? Yeah. It's from Green Dogs Unleashed. Dude, I want to tell you what pivoting is. And the reason Patti is a friend. I love her business. You know that she was wearing, you talk about pivoting. She, during COVID, rolled out same-day delivery of bags of dog food. And the response was so sizable that she at one time was using bicycles to same-day deliver stuff with trailers pulled behind the bicycles. She was, during Easter, same-day delivering with an Easter bunny costume on. That is pivoting during COVID right there. Let's play the Green Dogs Unleashed video. Get ready for your box of tissues. So, Judah, we played this during What's Barking Local, which airs Wednesdays at 3 o'clock on the I Love CVille network. There's a nonprofit. Someone tag Erica Renee. Someone get Green Dogs Unleashed, Erica Renee, their director, their founder, on the show now. Someone tag Erica Renee, and someone get the Green Dogs Unleashed family in the mix. Get ready for this video we're about to play. You know, Green Dogs Unleashed is a nonprofit that caters to special needs animals. I mean, think about that. I mean, what an amazing human being Erica Renee and her team. A nonprofit that caters to special needs animals, blind, deaf, have a hard time walking, et cetera, et cetera. So this video we're about to play, was it about 90 seconds, Judah?
It's about 106.
106. So what is that? About just under 2 minutes. We're about to play it. Let's play it, baby. Let's play it. Play it in 3, play it in 2, play it in 1. Play it now.
This year I'm dressing up like my biggest hero. While all my friends are playing at the park with their parents who are home, my hero dad is out making sure you get home safe at night.
Our dad is working hard in the hospital ER, taking care of people who are sick.
My dad is making sure there are food on the shelves and toilet paper for your bathrooms.
My mom skins all the new mommies to make sure their babies are growing.
Our dad cooks food so people have things to eat.
Our mom keeps everyone's car running so they can get to the places they need to go.
My dad keeps our roads safe and bridges clear.
My dad buys socks, bring us supplies. My dad always uses the air freedom.
My dad makes sure we know what's going on in the world.
My moms are making masks to help keep everyone healthy.
My mom makes sure that we can get the medicine we need.
My mom helps keep my furry friends healthy and happy.
My mom is teaching school in new ways from afar.
This is our tribute.
Our tribute. Our tribute.
To all the heroes who have kept our world, our country, our homes running during this difficult time in history.
We have never been prouder to be your faithful companions. Hero on.
There are so many amazing people doing amazing things in our community. I mean, I feel blessed to live here and to raise our family here, raise our kid here, our son. I mean, so many amazing people. Green Dogs Unleash, Erica Renee, that team is just angels on earth. Angels on earth. I want to get to the I Love CVille Instagram picture of the day. Can you get that on screen? Is it the key lime parfait from Oakhart Social? Have you guys had this? It's on screen. Look at the screen now. I Love CVille Instagram picture of the day. The key lime parfait from Oakhart Social. Dudes, legit. So good. I Love CVille Instagram. Follow it if you love food, business news, entrepreneurs, weddings, events, hotels, real estate, small business, music, anything like that. It's on that Instagram. That key lime parfait, bona fide. Now, I've teased this storyline throughout the show. Callaway, the golf company, you know, Callaway, Big Bertha, the golf club, that's Callaway. Callaway, the golf company, just purchased Topgolf for $2 billion. Billion with a B. Now, some of you may be asking, what's Topgolf? I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. There's 58 locations of Topgolf in America, 58. Topgolf is essentially golf meets a driving range, meets a sports bar, meets an arcade. You're kind of in a driving range setup, hitting the ball hard throughout an area that's grass where the ball can be caught. Scores being kept, TVs are on, you're watching sports, you do not have a dress code, you don't have to play 4 to 5 hours of 18 holes. You can go there with your friends, drink some beers, eat some burgers, eat some wings, do it for an hour, 2 hours, and leave. The price is much more approachable. So Callaway bought Topgolf because it sees Topgolf as a way to capture golfers, new customers long term. People who go to a Topgolf are more likely to then play golf on a traditional golf course. Topgolf is seen as more approachable and more appealing to the millennial and younger demographic. So Callaway is thinking, if we own Topgolf and we get people at least doing something golf related, maybe we can convert that interest into a full-time customer that plays on an 18-hole golf course a few times a month and needs all the clubs, the bags, the equipment, the gear, and the clothes that go with it. That's the mindset, or that's the plan of why Callaway bought Topgolf. $2 billion for this company. Callaway paid. That's a hell of a lot of money, man. Hell of a lot of money. Golf is on fire right now because of COVID. It is a COVID-friendly sport. As COVID-friendly of a sport as you can find in COVID, golf. Think about it. Think about it. Golf is red hot. That's why I led the show saying golf and sports like tennis and hiking, amenities offered in neighborhoods, these amenities are driving real estate value. ACC standings before we get out of here, Judah. First, I want to look at the schedule. We have some big-time football games on the docket this weekend. Very quickly, before we bounce, ACC schedule, guys, we're what? Gosh, I can't believe we're in November. Boston College at Clemson, Wake Forest at Syracuse, Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech at Louisville, Charlotte at Duke, North Carolina at Virginia. Wahoo's Tar Heels, 8 o'clock kick, ACC Network. ACC standings, if you can get those on screen. Remember, the ACC Championship, the two teams in the ACC Championship are determined by winning percentage. Winning percentage. The odds are Clemson is going to go undefeated this year. They're the number one ranked team in the nation. Here's what we have to be asking about the ACC Championship. is Notre Dame, who's playing in the ACC this year. Notre Dame is 4-0 in conference play. Are they also going to go undefeated in conference play? If so, that's a Notre Dame-Clemson ACC championship. North Carolina and Notre Dame play on December 12th, and the ACC championship is on December 19th. That North Carolina-Notre Dame matchup on December 12th could determine the ACC championship, guys. Very well could determine. Let's go to comments. Put your comments in the feed. If you want perspective, if you want to be heard on the show, put your comments in the feed. Barbara Lundgren, I love you, Barbara Lundgren. Barbara Lundgren said that Mark Mincer's dad had a similar impact on her. Please pray for Mark. If you're just tuning into the show now, Mark Mincer tomorrow going to UVA Hospital for brain surgery. Tuesday, signs of a stroke. The family is awesome. Tara, the entire Mincer family, pray for them. Tomorrow, UVA Hospital for Mark Mincer. Neil Williamson says Elizabeth Cromwell's energy and infectious optimism is a huge asset to our community. I could not agree with him more. Elizabeth Cromwell is the real deal. She is legit. She has very quickly integrated herself. One of our viewers made this comment on the show. She's very quickly made an impact in this community. She's very quickly become a part of the community and is a leader. She is an asset. She knows how to play the game. Elizabeth Cromwell knows how to play the game. She is an influential person. Olivia Branch says, thank you, Elizabeth Cromwell, for your positive pivots and energy. Erica Renee says she's here. She's watching. She's the director of Green Dogs Unleash, the founder as well. Hello, Erica. How are you? Patti Zeller says anything from Oak Card Social is going to be a win. I agree, Patti. Oak Card Social is legit. Legit. Erica Renee, it was our pleasure to play that video. Barbara Lundgren just said that video was amazing. That video was made by the Green Dogs Unleashed volunteers and family. Andy Wilfong says this, if you want to be in the wedding business long term, I would refund a deposit due to a pandemic. We need to adapt and change our business practices, not punish. You will get that bride and groom back when things calm down. Trust me. Very good comment, Andy Wilfong. Andy Wilfong's comment is in regards to, if you're just tuning into the program, a bride and a groom are suing Pippin Hill for $32,000 in deposit money. COVID, man. COVID. So done with COVID. I don't know about you guys. Good show today. I'm grateful for you guys watching. Tomorrow's Friday. We have a good show planned for Friday as well. We have, dudes, tomorrow, Friday at 10:15, myself and Keith Smith and Judah Wickhauer and Liza the dog, we're going to be dressed up as Batman, Robin, Alfred, and Bat Dog. I'm going to be sitting in front of that microphone over here, and Keith Smith is going to be sitting in front of this microphone over here with spandex on, with tighty whities on, with a yellow tool. What's the tool belt called that Batman and Robin wear, Judah?
Utility belt.
Oh, utility belt. A utility belt, a mask, gloves, and I'm going to be sitting right here. It's going to be terrifying, and I'm going to love it. I can't wait for you guys to see me in spandex and tighty whities tomorrow. Keith Smith, I don't know if he's ready for the spandex and tighty whities tomorrow, but that's on Real Talk tomorrow at 10:15 on the I Love CVille Network. You don't want to miss that show. We're also going to walk. We've persuaded Keith Smith to walk the entire downtown mall. I wanted to set up a meeting, Keith Smith, with Mayor Nakia Walker in our Batman, Robin, Bat Dog, and Alfred outfits, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Can't do that. I guess that's pushing it a little too much, evidently. You think that's pushing it too much, Judah? Yeah. Man of many words, my friend Judah. Yeah. Thank you, Judah. Thank you for joining us. We're out of here. It's the I Love CVille show. We will be back tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. in costume. In costume. You guys stay dry. Have a good one. You're coming in costume tomorrow, right?
I am.
Okay. What is the Alfred costume going to consist of?
A suit.
The black suit?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And a bow tie.
You got a bow tie?